Manchester United won, FC 21, and to just sum up that game, not good enough from United. The first half I thought was okay. I think we deserved to be in front, but it wasn't like a brilliant first half. It was okay. It was a good goal from Eriksen. We looked fine, I thought okay, it's fine. Second half was pretty atrocious, and I think 1-1 was a fair score. It wasn't like we were battered and they deserved to win, but we weren't good enough to win ourselves. So I think 1-1 was a fair score. We did have the higher XG. They did have more big chances than us. We had more shots. We did do a bit more in attack, but I felt that we were sloppy. I felt there was times out of possession when they were just running through us. And I am going to talk about Zirkzee, Mazraoui, Dalot. I think they had good games. Rashford had good games. But we're going to start with the pros and the cons, and then we're going to get into more detailed analysis and statistics. Let me know your thoughts down below. You know I love Bruno Fernandes. You know that I am someone that will back Bruno Fernandes, but he should have come off today. And I will say that as a Bruno lover. But look, Zirkzee and Rashford combination worked well, and then Ten Hag takes them off. It's like Ten Hag sees someone doing well, takes them off, and sees someone doing bad and keeps them on the pitch. Seems to be a thing at the moment. I thought the first half was decent. I thought the second half was shambles. I think the left-hand side was good on the ball. Rashford and Eriksen on the ball had a great game, but Rashford out of all our wingers covers the least distance off the ball, and Eriksen out of all our midfielders covers the least distance off the ball. So that left-hand side is exposed, and people can run down that flank. And Dalot's got so much work to do, and Dalot had a fantastic game, and Dalot's inverting a midfielder, and then they get too much space down that left-hand side, and that's something that we need to work on. I thought off the ball and ground coverage was a weakness, and I think there was many times where FC Twente could just run through us, which was a problem. Again, we're not conceding the kind of shots we were conceding last year, and we've improved upon last season, but that doesn't mean we're good. We were atrocious last season. Now we're just not bad, but could be better. And against FC Twente, no disrespect to them, I know they're third in the Eredivisie and they're not a bad side, but they haven't been in Europe in 12 years. The first game they come to Old Trafford with a 1-1 draw. We should be winning that game 3-1. We should be winning that game 3-1, and we did it to ourselves. We did enough to win the game. We went 1-0 up. All we had to do is kick on, improve in the second half. And actually, while Ten Hag got aspects wrong, I do think the players weren't given 100% today. I actually felt that the effort levels lacked a little bit. I felt FC Twente were more up for it, more excited for the occasion. Their first game in Europe in 12 years. I felt FC Twente were more up for it, and I felt that we were a little bit sloppy in the, not winning the second balls, giving the ball away. I think we've improved in possession, and you can see that. But I felt our decision making and our final ball was where it lacked. Bruno Fernandes, man, I love Bruno Fernandes, but nothing came off for him today. Absolutely nothing. And look, I can see Ten Hag's tactics, what he's trying to do, and I think if he can execute it, it will work well. But when we've got this sloppiness, when we're not getting these efforts off the ball, and then Ten Hag's making these saves, there is some question marks around that. Look, we've got Porto away next. That's going to be a very difficult game. We've got to go and get a result now, because 1 point, I don't want a Champions League 2.0 in the Europa League, because crashing out of Champions League is bad, but crashing out Europa League, man, that's just embarrassing. That is just embarrassing. I think second half was poor. Defensively was poor. We made it easier for them. I think we've improved defensively, and it wasn't defenders individually, but I just felt that we were giving the ball away a lot in midfield, and were under the pressure a lot more, and they were just running through us at times. And I think we just lost control. I think just 5 minutes before the goal and the 5 minutes after the goal, we look in panic mode, and maybe that's a mentality thing. And look, Bruno had a stinker. I love Bruno Fernandes, but he should have come off. I agree with Charlie's comment here. Some desperate, clueless decision-making at the end from some players there. Shocking result, really. Individually, most just weren't at it tonight. Rashford did well. Felt his sub was very odd as usual, as the subs didn't work for us. It's like when Rashford was playing badly, Ten Hag wouldn't sub him off, would keep him on at all times. Rashford's doing well. Probably our most threatening player. Ten Hag takes him off. It's like, if Rashford's good, keep him on the pitch. Because if Rashford's good, he can change a game out of nothing. Even when we're playing badly, Rashford can do something. So when Rashford's stinking it up, he ain't taking him off. Rashford's good, we'll take him off. And look, Bruno needs to be subbed. For me, Bruno and Eriksen I would have taken off, and I would have brought on Mount and Højlund. Mount for the out-of-possession stuff that I think Eriksen was lacking because his legs went. And I want to see Højlund and Zirkzee on the pitch together. I really, really do. But let's talk about Eriksen, because at points at parts of the game he's unreal, parts of the game he has a problem. He was having a 9 out of 10 and a 2 out of 10 game at the same time because of on the ball and off the ball. He lost the ball. It resulted in the goal. But I think Onana could have done better. I think Maguire could have done better. And it was a scramble just before he lost the ball anyway. I think everyone could have done better. I think the team lost control. So I'm not going to completely pin Eriksen out for that. He scored the goal. But it was an awful goal. It was an awful goal to concede. And we did that to ourselves. If we didn't do that, we come away with 3 points. Not the most deserved 3 points. But that's all that matters in this kind of this league that we're in the Europa League, was the 3 points. I thought Dalot, I think, did well with him. I think Dalot was coming to midfield. He was going out wide. I like that. I'll talk about that in more detail later on. I thought the goal was brilliant. He had a much better game than Bruno. So if anything, Bruno comes off, move Eriksen into the 10 then. But I thought off the ball, there's limitations. He lost his man a few times out of possession. They were getting down it. It's like on the ball we bring so much and he improves us so much on the ball, but off the ball we lacks. Maybe you think about saying, Bruno, you've not been good enough. You need a rest. You're being too rash. Put Eriksen in the 10 role so we can control it. Maybe get Ugarte and Maina behind him or Ugarte and Casemiro behind him to shut down shop for the defensive liabilities. Maybe that's something to consider. I thought Rashford was unbelievable, and I think Rashford's been really good since the Southampton game. He was taken on his man, flipping around them. His first half numbers, he won 4 out of 4 take-ons. He 3 defensive actions, 2 chances created, 1 big chance created. Like, Rashford was the most threatening guy that match. He was taking on his man, he was making things happen, he was creating chances, he was winning his duels. Yes, I think defensively he doesn't trap back like Garnacho did right at the end, so I think stop FC Twente potentially making it 2-1. But whether you like Rashford or not, he probably was our best player today, and I thought he had a really good game. I also thought Zirkzee had a good game, and what I like about Zirkzee is, and you know, idiots who don't watch football say, oh, he's only got 1 goal, we can't be that good for a striker. He's not a striker, it's a 9.5, and you can see why it's a 9.5. He makes us so much better. The little touches, the little movements, the flicks from Joshua Zirkzee are unreal. He definitely needs a box crasher behind him to make up for him being a 9.5 because he's not going to get those goals, which is why I quite like to see him work with Højlund. I think him and McTominay would have worked well together, but I think Zirkzee and Rashford, they combine well, the little 1-2s. It reminded me a little bit of Martial and Rashford when they were in their peak era under Ollie. It worked well. I think his movement and ball manipulation is so good. The way he can touch, take it away from the opponent, create space, get a shot, get a pass off. The way Zirkzee on the half turn can receive the ball and lay off. The quick 1-2s on the turns. Like the technical ability, IQ and awareness of Zirkzee is great. And then almost scoring a goal just before he got subbed off as well. Top corner save from the keeper. Just brilliant ball movement, brilliant manipulation, ability to create space, makes the team better, and he's so aesthetically pleasing. I love Joshua Zirkzee. Can't believe he came off again. I want to see him and Højlund, and he was acting as a +1 on either flank. His movement was creating space for oppositions. He makes the attack better. Him and Rashford work well. I think his weight of pass and I think his IQ and vision is great, and I love Zirkzee. And I also love Mazraoui. Mazraoui could be the bargain of the season. There is a few negatives, but I want to talk about the positives. The negatives was more in the subs. The negatives was in Bruno Fernandes. The negatives was in us being wasteful. The negatives were out of possession. I think Ugarte was okay. He made a few tackles, but I think we'll expect more from Ugarte when he's fully back. I think the system does suit Ugarte, though, and I think he will be a good signing for us. But Mazraoui, 8 passes into the final third, 6 ball recoveries, 4 attempted tackles, 4 successful tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 crosses, 1 chance created. I think Mazraoui's been a good addition and signing for United. I said whether in technical levels, you're saying good performance defensively, consistently good every game, press resistant, movement very clever, can overlap and invert. And I think our right-hand side looks a lot stronger with Mazraoui in the team. Continuing on to Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot has won possession more times 40 than any other player in the Premier League so far this season. He's now playing in an inverted midfield role, which is allowing Eriksen to go wider. Dalot is now contributing in all phases, dropping deep, helping him build up, providing support and overlap for Rashford, coming into the midfield, receiving the ball at the angles, playing on the ball, helping in all phases of the pitch. He's press resistant, his technical abilities are insane. And apart from that game where Dibbling roasted him, I think he's such a complete and underrated fullback. He's so consistent. I think technically Dalot is one of the most underrated players because we're talking about Mazraoui and Ahmad and Zirkzee's technical ability, but Dalot is one of the most complete and technical fullbacks out there. And his development under Ten Hag, because someone was saying Ten Hag hasn't improved players, he's improved Dalot. His development under Ten Hag is unreal because I wasn't sure about Dalot when Ten Hag came in. I really wasn't, and I have to say I'm very sure about Dalot. Left back, right back, midfield. Thought he had a good game. I think he really improves us. And I saw this. We were talking about Dalot in midfield. And I think H hit the nail on the head. Good. He's more rigid on the ball, less confusion and build up. I've been calling for a rigid 3-2 on the ball since Ten Hag joined. Happily, sharpness and consistency on the ball comes with time. We've struggled in build up, particularly in midfield. So having Dalot and Vert, I think, did help us play out from the back. Dalot, Martinez, the technical ability there, I think it was better. And then Ugarte was solid. 4 out of 4 tackles won in the first half. Did an all right job. Definitely limitations on the ball. I want to see him with Maino on the ball if I'm going to be honest as well. But I actually think, off the ball, he's a monster. I think he will suit Ten Hag's system and what he wants to do as well. Manchester United have won just one of their last 9 games in Europe, which is a little bit of a concerning statistic there. And the win was against Copenhagen at home under Erik Ten Hag, which I think Onana saved the penalty in for us to actually win. So we do need to step up in Europe. But hit that like button for Marcus Rashford. He made 2 key passes. Hit that like button for Joshua Zirkzee. And hit that like button to us going away and getting a few results before the international break because we need it. I think we're better than last season, but the results are not different. And the results are what matter at the end of the day. Thank you for watching. Bye.